Hey there, I'm Dr. J. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm really excited to show you how to use up some of those garden fresh veggies that you might have hanging around. So I love this combination. I've got some ripe tomatoes, I've got some zucchini, and some onion. Unfortunately, we do not have a garden, but we do like to shop locally at our farmers markets. So we do try to buy as fresh and farm to table as we can, right? A little bit healthier for us. Plus, we support all our local growers. Okay, so just gonna start. I'm just gonna get my zucchini kind of cut here. I've got my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees. And I think sometimes too, like in the summertime, we just all wanna eat a little bit lighter, right? So I'm just gonna cut these into about 1/2 inch rounds. I like mine to have like a little bit of an integrity still when it's done in the oven. So it's up to you. If you want it a little bit thinner, that's fine. But I'm going about 1/2 inch here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna put these into a little bowl here, because what I wanna do is I wanna coat them with some olive oil and a little salt and pepper, get some seasoning going, and then we're gonna get it lined up in our pan. This is gonna be so good, so fresh. I'm just gonna add, this is some really good extra virgin olive oil. Actually, my younger stepdaughter, Jesslyn, her fiance, Mark, got this for us in Italy. So this is very special, but we're using the good stuff because the olive oil is really gonna be one of my ingredients, right? It's not just gonna be something I'm cooking, and it's actually gonna be a flavor ingredient. Gonna add just a little pinch of salt. It's always important to season every layer, okay? So you don't wanna do this a little bit on top, you kinda wanna season it as you go. Actually too, Jesslyn and Mark just sent us this awesome pepper grinder as a birthday gift. All right, that looks just about right to me. Okay, and I'm just gonna get this added. I already have my casserole dish, already has a little bit of oil in it. What I wanna do next is I just wanna get my onion sliced up. I wanna leave it in rounds. If you want, you could half moon it, that would be fine too. But this I'm gonna make a little bit thinner because this is gonna take a little bit longer. I really like my onions nice and soft. So I'm just gonna go as thin as I can. You could actually use a mandolin if you have one. So just nice and thin. And this is gonna take a couple of onions to get the casserole dish full. Okay, so I just got my onions all sliced up nice and thin, all on the bottom of the casserole dish. Just gonna give it a little seasoning, a little salt and pepper. Gotta get that flavor in there. This is gonna be so good. And it'll be so nice, you know, alongside if you're gonna grilling something up, or just a nice piece of fish would be great with this. So now I'm just gonna put my zucchini right on top. Again, just make a nice layer. Spread them out. And always making sure that you're seasoning as you go along. You don't want your top layer to be all seasoned and nothing on the bottom, right? Okay. Okay, so we have just one more layer of veggie. So I've got 3 Roma tomatoes, and I found that the best way to actually cut these is using a serrated knife. And again, just gonna make some nice thick rounds here. I love fresh tomatoes from the garden. I don't think there's much better. I remember growing up, my grandfather, he had an amazing garden too. And I used to spend a lot of time with them in the summertime as a kid. And he'd always ask me to go out with him to the garden and pick some stuff. He'd make a nice salad or whatever, like for lunch. But he always had a handkerchief in his pocket and some salt in his little pocket knife. So he would, you know, pick some fresh tomatoes right then and there, kind of give it a cut in half, a little salt, and we'd eat it right then. So good, so good. I think that's a great way, you know, to get kids involved with food and also seeing where it comes from, right? It doesn't always just come from that aisle number 4 or whatever. And I'm gonna do the same thing with my tomatoes. I'm gonna put them in this bowl. I'm gonna give them a toss with the olive oil and a little salt and pepper, and then I'll show you how we're gonna finish this casserole off. Okay, so a little bit more of this beautiful olive oil. Okay. And tomatoes really need the salt, so don't be afraid to season. Okay? And some of this ground black pepper going in. Okay, it's gonna give this a good mix so everything's nice and coated. Then we're just gonna assemble this on our casserole. And I love it too. It's like the colors of the Italian flag. It's very pretty. So again, this would be a great thing if you have kids in the kitchen with you. Get them doing this. I think the more that they touch the food, the more that they are involved themselves, the more they're going to be willing to try something, right? That looks nice. Just like that. Use up these last pieces. Okay, just like that. All I'm going to do now is do a little breadcrumb and pecorino Romano topping. And then we're going to get this in the oven. So I have a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. They're plain. I like to season my own. This is a quarter of a cup of pecorino Romano cheese. I just love it. It's a sheep's milk cheese. It's a little bit funky, a little bit sharp at taste. I think it's delicious. You could absolutely use Parmigiano Reggiano. That would be fine as well. This is my own little blend of Italian seasoning. I'm going to use just about 1 teaspoon. Nice and flavorful going in there. I'm going to give this just a little stir, get everything combined. And then I'm going to add some of that olive oil again. You could absolutely use melted butter with this, but I'm really sticking with the olive oil flavor. That's really what I want. Olive oil, nice and fruity, delicious. Okay. And you just want these moist. That's all. So I'm just gonna kind of check as I go. So just about a couple tablespoons of that oil. I'm gonna use just a tad more. And sometimes not exact measurements, right? Because it depends on the humidity in your area, all of that. So that looks good to me. And I would say that was just about 2 tablespoons. And that's really gonna help these crumbs get nice and browned on top. Okay, who doesn't like a good crunch? I'm just gonna add this right on top. Just kind of sprinkle it on over. This just looks amazing to me already. Okay. And it's really easy, right? Just a couple, it's really just a few ingredients. Some olive oil, salt and pepper, a little Italian seasoning, some good fresh veggies. If not from your garden, maybe a local farm. We have an awesome farmer's market in McKinney. Eric and I love to go on the weekends. It's a great thing. We'll just go with our coffee, walk around, see what the farmers and other producers have. It's great way to support them. Okay, so this is gonna go into a 400-degree preheated oven. It's gonna take about 40 minutes. This is gonna cook through in my little breadcrumbs and cheese and get nice and brown and golden on top. All right, we're gonna see you in 40 minutes. Okay, so the veggies are done. They look and they smell fabulous. I'm gonna give them a taste for you. I love it. All little brown crunchy bits on top. I'm gonna get a little bit of the onion, a little bit of the zucchini, that delicious tomato. Oh yeah. Okay, going in. So soft. And the zucchini still has some integrity to it, which is what I like. I don't like it super mushy. So going in. That is so delicious. I just love those flavors. They all come together and really simple, right? Salt and pepper, a little Italian seasoning, some breadcrumbs with some pecorino on top. Super simple, very light side dish, all just very good ingredients. That's what you want. I hope you make this for your friends and family. Use up those extras that you have in your garden. If you like this, please share with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to click that bell so you know when our next video is coming out. All right, love y'all.